of fire, Molokai lies in the heart of the Hawaiian Islands. Her face chiseled by the ocean, Molokai's very name once represented fear and exile. 140 years after Father Damien arrived on the shores of Kalaupapa to comfort cast-offs stricken with Hansen's disease, movies are being made to tell the story. Today, Molokai bears no scars. Long before Damien, Molokai was known as a spiritus isle. Hawaiians considered it sacred. Those who choose this place as home realize they are a privileged people. On Molokai, people find pleasure in the simple things. Palava Valley on the east end of the island remains a good example of how life used to be, and still is. The oldest known Hawaiian settlement was here. The sound of water can be heard all through this valley, which explains why ancient Hawaiians lived here in great numbers. While only a few people live in this fertile valley now, taro patches like this one are many. People here celebrate life, even sing about it. To them, Molokai is heaven on earth.
In a day tonight, they saw the sky got created Molokai. That's why I believe we'll always believe in you, and if you believe. For what we have is more than time, we need to give birth to island shine. Heaven on earth is Molokai. Heaven on earth is Molokai.
The north shore of Molokai, known to locals as the backside, is accessible only by boat and only a few months a year when the ocean's swell is down. Uncle John Dudawa is loved and respected by most people who know him. He has personally invited us to join him on an outing to one of the more remote valleys. Junior Dudawa is doing the driving today. Molokai's north shore has the highest sea cliffs in the world, in some places over 2,000 feet. Even the locals are in awe. In the distance, our destination, a socked-in Wailua Valley. Wailua means many waters, and like most of the valley's backside, water is plentiful. Uncle John has come here today with a few of his extended family to collect Hihiwai. Hawaiians on Molokai have always appreciated what the land gives. Uncle John takes the young ones into the valley streams with him, not just to learn how to find Hihiwai, but to teach them the importance of preserving it.
Hawaiian people, they used to go inside and just pick a little, just enough for lunchtime and supper time, mostly. So they just pick enough, and that thing always comes back.
Hihiwai is a freshwater mollusk considered a delicacy. They cling to the rocks. They are normally found under the rocks in the daytime, on top of the rocks at night, which is why Hawaiians who used to live in this valley usually collected Hihiwai in the evening. They were easier to find. The Hihiwai will make an excellent addition to the afternoon's meal. Deeper into the valley is a crop of ho'io, a wild fern that is quite good to eat. Uncle John's good friend Yama planted the ho'io near a secret stream off the beaten path.
I planted this about 3 years ago. And I brought the plant from Waipio Valley on the Big Island. Hawaiians call it ho'io. Japanese call it warabi. Yeah. And you can eat this raw. You can just eat it plain like this. Or you can cook it with corned beef or spam, whatever you want to do it. or you can make a tossed salad.
At the end of the day, Pa'ina, a celebration of the fruits of the earth and life on Molokai.
I like the sand spreading out to the sea. I like the tropical moon and the lazy palm trees. I like the distance in my heart. No place that I'd rather be. I like the people. I like the way they smile. I like the feeling of you on this paradise. I like the cool wild and gecko. Man, this is where I wanna be. Whoa, 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 yeah. I will return.
This is Momo Me. It's on the northwest coast of Molokai. It is a designated subsistence fishing area. People from neighboring Hawaiian homelands can come here. Commercial fishing is not allowed. Ancient Hawaiians managed Momo Me, and now modern-day Hawaiians do too. There is an educational program taking place here. Mac Poipoi, born and raised on Molokai, has taken it upon himself to teach the principles of a fishing culture that conserves marine resources. Mac and his son Kaipo and friend Kanoho are tracking the life cycles of fish at Momo Me. By netting and tagging fish, they are beginning to better understand the behavior of each species. Poipoi says his intimate knowledge of this area is something of value, and that his generation should hand it to the next.
There's a lot of things that we need to learn about our resources down here in Momo Me, not just catching them, where they live, what they eat, all these different things.
In the old days, they knew everything about the fish. They knew every little thing, where they was going, when were they giving birth, and certain times they'll come inshore and outshore. And they had to know that because they depended on it. Today we do tagging, we do things the scientific way, tag the fish, and we start to learn like how the old folks did it. From there, we can pass on. So it's like we rewriting the book, yeah? We're learning again.
The area is still pretty much intact. We still have what we always had, but it's just about the way we conduct ourselves and how much we catch. That's what's gonna determine if we're gonna be able to maintain this population down here.
Like my dad, my grandpa, and all the two other generations, they was all caretakers of this place. And I just like be like them and practice the old ways, the Hawaiian ways.
Many of those who initially disagreed with the restrictions at Momo Me now recognize the long-term value of it. Mac Poipoi's love for this area is surpassed only by his desire to protect it. Scuba gear gives modern-day spearfishers much more time to be selective. This diver could take a whole string of fish if he chose to, but he decides on one uhu. The parrotfish is all his family will need. This is a good example of conserving the fishery, something many people on the island of Molokai embrace. But still, there are fewer fish these days. This is Kahina Pohaku. It served the Hawaiians well for generations. There is evidence that dozens of fish ponds once existed on Molokai's south shore. Ancient Hawaiians were experts at managing the reefs, and they used the fish ponds to do it. Now, a group of modern-day Hawaiians are restoring some of the ponds to serve the same purpose for which they were originally built.
The people who built these ponds first were ingenious aquaculturists. The Hawaiians would stand in one spot and one guy could harvest a 20-acre pond. The fish would come to the makaha and feed at the makaha during a certain period of time. That was when the big tide was changing and all the food was coming in the makaha. And they would all gather there and feed. And one guy would come there and stand in one place and scoop what he wanted and then let the rest go.
1, 2, 3.
Young Hawaiians involved in the restoration of the ponds say they feel the presence of their forefathers. They believe by rebuilding the ponds, they rebuild part of their culture.
The goal is to replenish our reefs, to help our culture go forward with restoring our heritage, just like we're restoring the wall today.
On this day, an outreach group from the mainland has offered to help gather rocks. The Hawaiians welcome them.
They get right into it. They're more than happy to just work along with us and just working with them. And because they know they're not always going to be here, they can go back home to the mainland, wherever they come from. So it feels good to give them some of the knowledge that we know.
They will go home having learned something about the Hawaiian culture, including how hard the work can be.
You're going against gravity. So by the time the day's over, your body is piula, means your body is tired. You got the nature of the wave, the heaviness of the rock, and your body is wet, and the difficulty of waves pushing your body against the floor. But if you're quick at your feet and quick at your hands, you can get away with it,
Surge of mana, I would call it, is the Hawaiian people feel proud because not too much people like doing this. Not too much people want to get into it. And so we're like the footsteps. We're trying to wake up our younger generation.
It has not always been easy trying to bring back something old.
There's so many regulators and so many environmentalists that are down on our case about where is the sand going and how's the water quality, what are you doing to the water. It's stagnating us. We just want to do what our ancestors did. And all we're asking people to do is let us do it.
They ask only that they be allowed to be Hawaiian in a Hawaiian place.